may look like a small island, but it's actually home to 300 beaches. I think that makes a very nice bucket list to try to check off them all. Today I'm at Playa Ancon. It's just outside of Trinidad. It's home to 4 all-inclusive hotels, so there are international tourists, but the reason I wanted to come here is because it's also popular with Cubans. And when I come to Cuba, I definitely want to hang out with Cubans. I love a good beach day. So, Playa Ancon is just, I think, 15 kilometers outside of Trinidad. It takes about 25-30 minutes to get here. It's not far away, but the roads aren't great, so you can't go that fast. We took a taxi. So basically you go to the main square, you ask the taxi drivers. We had heard prices could be 15 to 20, or locals would get 10. But if you're in Cuba, you're not gonna get a local price. Even Osmani negotiating, as soon as they saw me, they said 20. And I actually don't have a problem with that. We could have haggled down to 15. However, right now, getting gas in Cuba is very, very difficult. A lot of people wait hours in line. We saw that happening in Havana, and then Cienfuegos, there was also a huge line before we left. So I just thought, you know what, 20 is fine for me because it's half an hour out, and also it's a return ride, so it's half an hour back. We have the WhatsApp number for our driver, and he will come pick us up when we're ready, and we don't pay him until he picks us up. I think that was a little bit more of him trusting us that we were going to pay him. We offered to pay him up front, but he said, no, it's okay. He knows that we're going to actually pay him because we need a ride home. This beach is so interesting. So I am with my friend Osmani, who's also a Cuba travel guide, and I hired him to show me around Cuba. And that is because 2018, I was based in Havana for 2 years and traveled around. But so much has happened in 5 years. Honestly, it's completely different. And I'm really glad to rediscover it again, but also have a guide with me. When we arrived here, he told me this beach has 4 all-inclusives, but also all beaches in Cuba are public. And so in between the all-inclusives, there are little places where they have some food, and they will also rent chairs and umbrellas. However, those places don't have bathrooms. So if you're fine with going in the water, you can go to one of those. But even these all-inclusives, if you want to go to one, the chairs are only 300 pesos for the day. And they come with these little palapas. I think Osmani said they're called guanos or umbrellas here, but that's 75 cents if you brought US dollars into Cuba and are exchanging them to pesos. Always pay in pesos. Bring in the US dollars and convert to pesos, and everything becomes so cheap, it really makes me sad for the economy here. Anyway, I think it's gonna be a great day. Just going to relax. I'm gonna go hit the water, I think, very soon. And of course, I'll share all of it with you. And I will say this, oh, can you see this? It is 9 a.m. The sun is already out. It's humid, and it's not that crowded yet because it's still quite early, but I can already see Cuban families are coming. Another change that I've noticed here is Cuba seems to really love Bruno Mars. I don't know why. I'm hoping we change to like some classic Cubaton or even the new Reparto, but I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm here and they think that foreigners like Bruno Mars. Good singer, but like I would like something a little bit more local. So I saw that man talking to another tourist earlier, and I was wondering, he's got conch. Conch is sustainable in some places, some countries in the Caribbean, but not others. And to be honest, I don't know about Cuba. I was just talking to Osmani about it, and he was like, oh, I think it is sustainable, but I'm not 100%. Anyway, you shouldn't eat it when you don't know, and you definitely shouldn't buy the shell. But also, he had starfish. And starfish around the world, people will go snorkeling and want to touch the starfish. Some guides will bring them up. You should never touch a starfish. Like, it almost always, you're damaging it and it could die. And so he was saying he's a fisherman. He goes 4 kilometers out and he has 2 children and he's trying to feed his kids. And I feel for that. And I certainly like to buy from locals, but I can't buy something that's not sustainable. Like that kind of tourism, I don't think we should be buying things from people and then it encourages them to find something else. I mean, if he was a vendor selling fish, I would be all over that, but I can't buy a starfish or a conch. Anyway, it's a sad story. You want to help people, but I can't. Personally, I can't do that, and I don't recommend it for others. This looks like another, definitely all-inclusive here, but so far it looks like mostly Europeans. I did watch another YouTube channel. I'll try to see if I can find the name of it, because I think it was a Canadian guy who reviews resorts here in Cuba, and he was saying that in this area along Cienfuegos and Trinidad, a lot of the tourists are German and European, but unlike Canadians who come here and they lie down on the beach all day, a lot of Europeans are actually more interested in also having a little bit of history. So a lot of tour buses show up first thing in the morning, pick everybody up, they go do something, go on some kind of tour where they learn about something and they come back. Sadly, I think Canadians, we are more inclined to just sit and drink mojitos or daiquiris all day. But it's an interesting mix. Of course, when you come to Cuba, there are lots of little water sports things that people can do. It looks like they've got some kayaks here. They also have a little, I don't know what you call these boats, like mini catamarans, tapangas, I don't know. But you do see these a lot, so you can go out for the day. And then also they have these little fun bicycle ones. And you'll see that there is a little bit of seaweed here, but certainly not what you've seen in Mexico. The sargassum, it does not smell, it's totally fine. And I have a bit of a theory, like a conspiracy theory, that the sargassum is actually caused by overdevelopment. So in Tulum, Playa del Carmen, all through there, so much development, so many properties being built, and where does all of the excess go? Usually into the water system. So my conspiracy theory is that is actually what causes it, but also why Cuba does not have it, because they don't have this overdevelopment, so they just have regular seaweed growing. If you actually know the reason, my conspiracy theory is not built on any facts at all, just random observations as a conspiracy theorist would have. But yeah, that's why I think Cuba is a little bit immune to this. Now it is December, which means the water should be cooler, but I'm Canadian, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be absolutely fine. Ooh, it is warm. I mean, not like warm weather that you would have in July, but it's actually nice. It's very refreshing. The beach has a very chill vibe right now. There are, I think, some Cuban Americans over here. Might be at the Ancon Hotel. Birthday girl right here. And then you've got a bunch of, I think, Europeans down there. But otherwise, it's very quiet here. So different. Now, I would say this is refreshing for me, but for Cubans, a lot of people don't want to come in the water because it's so much. They're used to July weather where it's like bath water, but I think this is fantastic. Had to get my hat and reapply sunscreen. I've got mineral and regular sunscreen on right now because it is hot, it's humid. Make sure that you bring a big bottle of water with you. Now, as I said, there are 4 all-inclusives here. So this is Hotel Ancon. There's also a Malia down by that we're gonna check out later. And also, I think there might be an Iberostar, which would probably be the most high-end, I think. This area is less expensive if you wanna do a holiday than Varadero. But this is not Varadero Beach. I mean, Varadero is one of the best in the world, but this is a fantastic beach. So if you're on a budget, you just want to get away, this could actually be good for, I think, 2 or 3 days. Any more than that, I'm not so sure, because it's not near town. So you're definitely committed to the all-inclusive lifestyle, which I don't know if I could do. I think stay in Trinidad like I did and come out here for the day. It's like the perfect mix of beautiful, interesting city, lots of history, culture. You can do day trips from there. You can also go to Cienfuegos if you want. And then you can also come out here for the day. And if you really want that all-inclusive day, I think you could probably get a day pass here. It is actually really nice to be able to come to this beach with someone, because that means you can leave all of your things, you don't worry about it, and you can walk most of the beach. This is 12 kilometers. I'm not going to be able to walk the whole thing, but I'm just almost at the end of the all-inclusive resort, so I want to see what it looks like when it's just a regular beach. I am just taking a look in the water because Osmani warned me that in the summer here there are no jellyfish, but in the winter there are in Cuba. And so he doesn't think there are any here specifically, which is good because the water is not as clear as Playa de Estes or Varadero, so you can't quite see. And I don't want someone to have to pee on me because I've been stung by a jellyfish. Have you ever peed on someone? Or have you been stung by a jellyfish? Does peeing on someone make the jellyfish sting go away? Or is that like an urban legend that doesn't actually work? Maybe it's just a lie so that people will pee on you. I don't know. Anyway, regardless, I don't want that. I think also you might be able to use coconut water. If you know, let me know in the comments below. Right now I do not have internet, so I cannot look that up. I was just talking to the lifeguard right there, and he said to me that if we want lobster, we can get lobster with rice and salad and all of that kind of stuff. He's got it for $10 a person, which honestly is not a bad deal. It's different than lobster in Canada, but less expensive, that's for sure. We are walking by all of the all-inclusives, and at the very end of the beach there are some restaurants. On the way it looks like they also have a very typical place to take pictures, a swing on a tree. The funniest thing coming down here is that Cubans look many different ways, but Cubans always think that Osmani is actually a tourist, and so all along this route sometimes he just says no, and then sometimes he says no, I'm Cuban. But it's very funny because usually if you're with a local, people leave you alone, but not with him. Coming into the end of the beach, there used to be apparently a lot of places to eat. It is a Thursday, it's not the weekend, so there are, I think, maybe 3 restaurants open. The first restaurant was expensive, like a plate would have been $22 US. Coming in, the next place had dishes for 12 to 16, and Osmani is gonna check, I think, the only other one open. But the food here apparently is just average, he warned, so we don't want to spend too much. If we can't find something, I would love to share with you food from the beach. We might just go back into town because the food might be better there and have a better price. We just decided there are some really great restaurants in Trinidad. If you are interested in going to Trinidad, coming here, you want some tips on that. This is my 4th time here, and right here I'm gonna put a QR code with all my best tips, where to stay. I stayed in a fantastic place in Trinidad that we paid, it's $15 a night. We actually paid an extra $5 last night because there was a power outage and they brought a generator in, so just to cover the cost of that. But $20 a night for a spectacular place. It has been a really great time here. Next week's video is all about Varadero, one of the best beaches in the world. I'm also there long enough that I'm gonna have time to share with you where you can get local food. I think there's a lot of great tourist restaurants, but also I wanna show you where you can get like more of the local side of food. So I'll see you then.